Hello guys, I am Nitish Bagalwadi, your science teacher, Sankalp Learning Solution. In the last class, we discussed regarding sources of energy, renewables resources, non-renewable, thermal, hydroelectric, wind energy, and also we discussed regarding, we can say, what we can say that the environmental consequences we are going to discuss today. Okay, so let me check. And we discussed non-conventional sources of energy, right? Geothermal, tidal, this all we discussed. Nuclear fission, nuclear fusion we discussed, right? Fine. Today we are going to discuss the last concept of sources of energy. So which is the environmental consequences, guys. So here, first we discuss thermal power plant. In that we need coal, right? So coal we will obtain from the earth crust. It is a mineral, right? It is a fossil fuel. So burning of fossil fuel causes air pollution, right? So even though we will say CNG, that is compressed natural gas, is a cleaner fuel, the fuels are not cleaner. Every fuel will give the will produce the environmental pollution. Okay, but here what happens is the rate of pollution will be reduced, will be different. Next we can discuss regarding hydroelectric power plant, for which we need this one, dams, construction of dams. So for the construction of dams, we need larger areas. For larger areas, we need to cut the trees. We need to cut the trees. We have to locate the local people to the other places. So it is very costly and it is very tough task. The next one is continuous whirling and whistling of windmills. Okay, cause noise pollution which will disturb the birds, which usually migrate from one place to another place, right? So this all are the environmental consequences. So along with that, the heavy energy structures to exploit wave energy. For example, tidal energy we use to generate electricity. So when you put the turbine, when you immerse the turbine in such cases, so it will disturb the marine life, the fishes, the organism which live in the water, as well as the seabird population, which usually stay near the seas. So this all will be affected. The next one is using wood as a fuel results in deforestation. Fuel, biogas we said now. For that we will use certain amount of wood. So for that we have to cut the trees. So it causes deforestation and affects the environment. So like that, directly or indirectly, this use of conventional sources as well as non-conventional sources of energy affecting the environment, guys. Burning of fossil fuels causes release of acidic oxide. This acidic oxide mixes with the water and causes acid rain. Acid rain affects the, we can say, acid rain spoils the historical monuments, right? The construction of dams, again, larger spaces, it will capture the villages. It will require the larger areas which disturbs the people. Then continuous what is that, rotation of the windmills causes a lot of noise pollution which disturbs the people around that area as well as the migratory birds. Heavy energy structures like turbines and all inside the oceans, it disturbs the aquatic life. So these all are the environmental consequences or the problems which occurs due to the use of the sources of energy for our benefits, guys. The last concept of this sources of energy, how long the sources of energy will last. We will use various sources of energy like renewable sources and non-renewable sources. So what do you mean by renewable sources of energy? Renewable sources of energy is nothing but which will regenerate after some days, day by day. Non-renewable, which will not regenerate at all, right? So which will get exploited. If it get exploited, it will get over. So how the energy will be last? For example, as you can read on the slide, fossil fuels like coal, petroleum, diesel, this will get depleted, means this will get decreased someday if we use it extensively. So it is estimated that if we use the coal at the same rate, like the same as we are using now, the coal will get over after 200 years. Petroleum will get over after 60 years. That's why we are using electric vehicles nowadays, right? And those of natural gas, what we call, it will get over by 40 years. Same way, we can get a continuous supply of biomass, like a biogas, but if we plan for it. So if we don't plan for it, again, it will be also reduced. Geothermal energy is an inexhaustible geothermal. From the earth, we will get the temperature, right? So that magna. So that is inexhaustible. It will not get over. Nuclear energy is inexhaustible as only small amount of uranium is needed to release large amount of energy. So it is also considerably called as inexhaustible. Solar energy, the energy from the sun, water energy, wind energy, these all are inexhaustible, but this we have to use efficiently without affecting the environment. Ocean energy, we said we will put big turbines, large turbines in the sea, means the birds, the animals inside the ocean will be affected. Windmills, it causes noise pollution. So, and no doubt the energy will last, the renewable energy will last. The non-renewable energy sources we have to take care of, but renewable energy sources also we have to use in a more technical way. Let us find the windmill which will not produce sound. Let us find the turbine, or rather than let us find any alternative which will not affect the marine life or aquatic life. So this technology or the research in the science continues so that we can just help our environment as much as we know, right? So it gave a very good gift. Very everything we use it is from environment, guys. So something we should provide to the environment. Let us love it. Let us allow it to grow. Okay. This is about the sources of energy concept. In the next session, we are going to learn a lot more about our environment and also how to manage the resources in the last chapter of the science. Okay, this is about the sources of energy. Here we completed the session on sources of energy. Let me meet you all in the next session. Until that, take care. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.